Have you ever just sat at the drums and stared at the kit without playing and just thought, man, I suck? That's been me more times than I can count, and I would assume that's you because you clicked on this video. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you 7 different signs that you actually are a way better drummer than the average person who tries to learn how to play drums. Before we get into the video, I just want to thank Vodacom for sponsoring it. This is for all the South Africans watching. Vodacom has partnered with YouTube to bring you a limited time prepaid LTE bundle, made so that you can vibe with your faves on YouTube without worrying about data. You get 15 gigabytes for just 99 Rand. That's 5 gigs anytime, 5 gigs of night owl data, and 5 gigs of pure YouTube data completely free. So whether you're learning new grooves, watching gear reviews, or following your favorite drumming creators, which is hopefully me, this deal makes it easy to stay connected. Grab it now on the VodaPay app or dial *123# and the offer is valid until the end of September. T's and C's apply. Alright, let's get into the video. Number 1, you listen to a lot of music. So this sounds kind of obvious, but I've taught a lot of drummers over my lifetime, and I've had a lot of students, and I cannot even explain to you how I'd say like 50% of the students I've taught don't even listen to music, really. They, like, people come in, I'll ask them, what's your favorite band? What's your favorite artist? Who's your favorite drummer? And 50% of them have no answer because they just listen to the radio, or they don't actually have an interest in music, even though they're trying to learn how to play drums. So if you listen to a lot of music and a lot of different music, you're arguably a better drummer than most, because the more music you listen to, the more you start to think like a musician instead of thinking like a drummer. So as you learn how to play the drums, you got ideas to play on the kits, but as you listen to music, you got musical ideas that are in your brain because you're exposing yourself to different styles and different ways of art being played for people to hear. And if you don't listen to that much music, I would encourage you to do so, and I would encourage you to listen to different styles. So listen to metal, listen to jazz, listen to Latin, funk, pop, trap, everything. The more you fill your brain with all this stuff, the better drummer you're going to become, because you're, again, going to become a better musician than you are a drummer. So the best drummers are better musicians. If you think of any good drummer in the world, any pro drummer, they are top quality musicians because they listen to a lot of music. You can play more than 10 drum fills. So obviously, if you can play more than 10 drum fills, you are a decent drummer. However, the way that actually makes someone a good drummer is if you take one drum fill, and in this case, we're going to take one pattern. So let's say it's right, left, kick. And you can play that in 10 different ways. If you can play 10 drum fills that are different from that one pattern, that makes you above the average drummer. Because most drummers these days, because of the internet and the like culture of people teaching drums very specifically. So you'll scroll on Instagram and see someone telling you how to play a very specific thing on the drums. People just learn to like parrot information from other drummers, and they play the exact same things that they play. But what you actually want to do if you want to be a good drummer is you take patterns and then you orchestrate them around the kit. So taking kick, right, left, and playing it in 10 different ways with that same kick, right, left, kick, right, left, kick, right, left, but moving it around the drums in 10 different ways, that makes you better than the average drummer. If you keep playing the same drum fills over and over and over, then you are probably the average drummer. The next sign that you're above average as a drummer is that you can feel where music is going. So this actually goes back to number 1 on this list. If you listen to a lot of music, you start to think musically. So the drummers that are average or below average, they don't feel where music goes or what happens when playing music. But people who are above average, ideally you who are watching this video, if you're just playing a song and you can feel that it's about to go from the verse to the chorus and you need to do something to get it there, you are above the average drummer. That just makes you a musician. And the more you play drums, the more you play with other musicians, this is just what you really need to be doing, and like getting better as a musician by doing that. Sometimes you'll just be playing and like there's no actual communication with the band members, but everyone can like agree that they're about to do a cutoff, so the music's about to stop, and you can just feel that that's about to happen, or you can just pick up, or you're the one who can actually initiate it to make the music sound better. That makes you a good musician. The next sign that you are above average as a drummer is if you can play ghost notes. So you get grooves, beats that you play on the drums, but then you get grooves. So when I mention that, I mean like Nate Smith style grooves. So how does that guy make those things sound like that, and how does it sound so good? One of the answers for that, because there's a lot of answers, but one of them is that he plays ghost notes really well. And if you are a master of ghost notes on the drums, you have the power to shift how grooves feel when people hear them. And you want them to be delicate, you want them to be controlled, and you want to have complete mastery over how you're playing those ghost notes. And if you can do that, and you're not just whacking the drums as you're playing beats, then that makes you above average as a drummer. Sometimes ghost notes can make things swing, sometimes they can pull things back, but they just add a lot of texture to a groove, even though most people don't hear them, most people feel them. The next sign that you are above average as a drummer is that you can play different styles of grooves. So if you can sit on the kit and play a rock groove and then a Latin mambo groove and then a jazz swing groove and then a blast beat, then that makes you above average, because most drummers, they stick to one style. A lot of people just learn drums because they want to learn how to play what they are interested in. So if you're interested in Led Zeppelin, you're going to want to just play Led Zeppelin grooves and like rock style grooves and like drumming that's around that. However, the best drummers take inspiration from different styles of beats and they incorporate it into their own style. So if you are someone who is learning actively how to play different styles of grooves, you're starting to develop your own personal voice because you're mending all those things together to make you as a drummer. And if you do that and you make you and you have like a distinct style because you know how to play all these other styles, that makes you above average. The next thing that makes you above average as a drummer is you can play rim shots. So just to explain what a rim shot is, it's when you hit the rim and the snare at the same time, and instead of just getting like a duh, you get a kwa. For me, rim shots are like the best way of playing the snare drum. I mostly play rim shots, but I'm very in control of how I play them. So they're not always loud and overbearing. I just prefer how the snare drum sounds when I play that instead of just on the snare drum. But if you can comfortably play rim shots every single time you hit the snare drum when you want to, that makes you above average. Because all my students that I've taught, when I teach them how to play rim shots, there's always this point or this journey of getting to a point where you can play them comfortably and reliably all the time. So a good test is to play like just a normal rock beat, dunt, jut, dunt, jut. Play that for like 5 minutes straight and try to get a rim shot every single time and make it sound even every single time so that it sounds the same. If you can do that, you're an amazing drummer. You're way better than the average drummer, because most drummers who are learning and still like developing their craft really struggle to do that. The next thing that makes you better than the average drummer is you have no issue playing in front of people. So this is more of a mental thing. It's not like an ability thing. But if you get shy when you sit on the drums and you don't want to play in front of people, you probably have some work to do, because the whole point of playing an instrument like the drums is you want to play in front of a crowd. You want to perform, you want to play with a band, you want to just get out there and like make music with people, for people. Even if you suck, or even if you think you suck, but you're still going to sit down at like a pub gig and get on the drums and smash it, that makes you incredible as a person, because you have the confidence to do that. And the drums are so cool because they give people confidence to do that. I'm a pretty shy guy. When I sit behind the kit, I'm the most stud Chad Oak in the world, because I feel like I'm invincible when I play drums. And that is so cool of this instrument, and that is something that everyone needs to strive to do, to sit on the kit and just be so comfortable playing for others and like enjoy making noise so that people can enjoy the noise you make. If you are shy and you don't want to play in front of others, the first thing you can do is just play in front of a camera. That's like a no-risk thing. It's already going to feel weird, but just film yourself playing and just get over that first. Then I would play in front of like your friends or your family. If they come over to your house, just be like, yo, let me just play some drums for you. Let me show you how it's done. And then you get over that, and then take it a step further, play in like church or at a small gig. And if you can do that and you start getting happy to do that and you're comfortable and you actually want to do that, that makes you above average. And that puts you above everyone else below you who's learning how to play the drums. So those are 7 signs that make you a way better drummer than you think you are. If you feel like you suck, but you ticked all these boxes, you are incredible. Or if there's something you need to work on, just focus on that and just kind of pursue it and actively work at getting better at it. If you tick all 7 of these boxes, you're on your way to becoming a pro drummer. Let me know in the comments some other signs that makes drummers better than they think they are, and let's chat about it.